start. Oh. Om Namo Brahmanandaji Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartaribhyo Vamsaribhyo Mahatmyo Namo Gurubhyo Sarvopaptavarahita Prajnana Pratyagatho Brahmaivahamasmi Sarvopaptavarahita Prajnana Pratyagatho Brahmaivahamasmi Om Narayanam Padmapavam Vasishtham Shaktim Jatatputravarasharam Cha Vyasam Shuvam Gaudapadam Mahantam Govinda Yogindra Madhasya Sishyam Sri Shankaracharya Madhasya Padmapadam Cha Hastamardam Cha Sishyam Tam Thodagam Vatigakaram Shivanandam Asmat Gurun Santadamanatosmi Sruti Sruti Puranam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad-padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Kesavam Vadarayanam Sutravasya Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murti Veda Vibhagini Vyomavadvyapta Devaya Sri Dakshinamurte Namaha. Om Sakana Bhavatu Sakano Bhunattu Sakaviryan Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Bhadram Karneya Vishwamyama Devaha Bhadram Pashyemakshaviryajatraha Sthirairangaistustvagunsastanubhih Vishema Devahitam Yadayuh Swasti na Indro Vruddhashavaha Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedaha Swasti na Stakshyo Arishtanemihi Swasti no Brihaspatir Dadatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. To 6.
Read note 6. Read up to note 6. These are absent in our class.
Which note?
Note 6.
Note
They
6.
completed.
Note 6 completed. So, the text.
Moreover, Atman is always of the nature of consciousness.
These are absent in the Atman is always the nature of consciousness and effulgence, not physical effulgence, although physical effulgence is also included. For want of better words, they are using the word effulgence, illumination. Therefore, it is reasonable to speak of the Atman as ever effulgent. Not only sometimes effulgent, sometimes not. As in the case of the sun. During the day, sun is effulgent. At night, it is not. But this Atman, even in the night, it is effulgent. Understand the meaning of the word effulgence. It is existence. It is consciousness. It is always shining. Even in so-called unconsciousness, there must be consciousness. Not consciousness of objects. That is not there. That is why we call it unconscious state. But conscious can never be absent. Objects may not be there or may be there. But the consciousness is always there. Therefore we say we were sometimes unconscious. After a spell of unconscious state, after coming to the normal condition, you say, I was unconscious for some time. That means at that time the consciousness was there. I in the form of I, or I in the form of consciousness. It was there. It must be there. It must have been there. So it is always shining. Even when I do not know something, it shines as the absence of knowledge. When I know something, it shines as the knowledge of the object. Thus, this is ever present, eternal, ever shining, ever effulgent is the self. It is all knowing, that is to say, Atman is all that exists, and Atman is consciousness or awareness itself. Consciousness of objects, absence of consciousness of objects, we can understand easily. But what is stated here is that Atman is consciousness itself. Whether objects are there or not to be conscious of. Consciousness exists. And what exists? When the absence are present and when the objects are present or when they are absent. What is present in both the conditions? Not the objects. Objects are present sometimes, they are absent at other times. Something is present in both these conditions. That is why you are able to say that the objects are there or objects are not there. Then the ignorance also shines because of the Atman. Of course, knowledge also shines because of the self. As regards such Brahman, that is, the one that knows such Brahman, the knower of this great truth, the perseverer of this great truth, as regards him, no action can be enjoined, as may be in the case of others, who, on account of their ignorance of the real nature of Brahman, are asked to practice concentration, etc., on the nature of the Atman. In the early stages, we are asked to practice concentration, meditation, spiritual practices, we are asked to do. But in the case of the knower, all these are irrelevant. They are not that they are not necessary. They are irrelevant. The question of their necessity and no necessity, both cannot exist there. No action can be enjoined in him. In the case of an actor, one who acts on the stage, the man, say, is A, he puts on the part of B, acts on the role of B. The actions of B in the stage, do they act A? Do they affect A?
No.
Do they affect A? So just a small example. I read a note yesterday, I remember that. Somebody has explained it like that. The actor A is originally is A. Now he has the role of B in the stage. And that B is doing many things in the stage. Do those actions relate to B or A?
On the stage to the B.
He is acting. The other man, the role may be of a beggar. Him. The original man is a billionaire, the actor, A. He is a billionaire. And he is acting the role of a beggar in the stage. He is begging in the street. Does that begging affect the A?
No.
No, does not, cannot. Cannot affect it. Now I can say A is acting and does not act. He is begging and he does not beg. They are different. Are they one or two, A and B? One. There are no. The question
That
itself.
B doesn't really exist.
Is the king beggar? Are they one? The billionaire can never become a beggar. You say they are one. How can they become one?
There's only one person.
One person is there. He really is a billionaire, but he is now acting as a beggar. Yes. That's the example. The point to be understood is that begging business that he is acting there in the drama does not touch the billionaire in any way.
Because he always knows he's the billionaire.
Yeah,
always that is in the background
Yes,
of the acting.
yes. Does he always think like that? I say
No, he doesn't have
does
to.
not.
Like, we know we're a man.
That consciousness is there. That can never be absent. That I am a billionaire, that cannot be absent when he is begging in the stage. It is separate both. So he acts and does not act. Something like that is the case of the knower of truth. The consciousness which is free in him, which is eternal in him, which is always shining, which can never be non-existent, which cannot be affected by anything because its nature is infinite. Such a consciousness, such a person in the body, as he has assumed a body, like the other man has assumed the body of a beggar, he has now assumed the human body, that infinite consciousness, and he is acting. But does he act really? The consciousness does not act. That is what the scripture says. He does not really act, although the body acts. All the experiences the body and the mind are having, they do not touch the self. He remains as the witness of the whole show. Yes.
Swamiji, what has happened in us? Has the witness become totally lost in the show?
Lost in the show.
You might say, rather than standing back
Hey,
and...
you are setting the example.
Yeah. No, I mean, you were talking about the
Set
knower.
example. In the example, if the man suddenly identifies himself with the part, what will happen? The curtain will fall, the director will take him to task. The drama will end for the time being. Yes.
No, I
real
meant...
fight take place between Rama and Ravana on the stage.
Hmm?
Real, that means Rama and Ravana forget themselves,
Ah,
acting,
yeah.
then fight each other.
No, I don't mean that. Swamiji, you were saying earlier that for the knower, he remains as the witness.
Yes, that's what I'm
And
telling.
yes. And so in our case,
These
instead
are-
of remaining as the witness, somehow
That is what you are doing now.
we are the witness.
We are doing. We are
Even now.
witness.
We are the witness
forget
now.
that. We are identifying with the bodies.
Well, what identifies with the body?
What is?
What identifies with the body?
Body for the as an answer to your question, I can say it is the individual consciousness that identifies with the body.
Is that the same as the witness? I
It-
mean, there are all these divisions, but
we are trying to make that as an object or a person. The question implies that consciousness also is a person or a thing. When you say he is a witness, even that word. Whenever we put a question about consciousness, we have limited it. It is the infinite being, it is not an object or a subject. You cannot really put any question, relevant question or right question about God. To put a question, you must first make him an object or a person, which he will never do. He is the infinite being. He is not an object, he is not a subject. He is not even a witness. Why all these names? All these names are like the roles in the drama. Even the witness. Nothing will touch the pure consciousness, which we are, really are, all of us, whether we know it or not. If we know it, we are benefited. We will live in peace in this world. When we do not know it, we know our state. The purport is that besides the destruction of ignorance, it is not possible to prescribe any disciplinary action. Besides the destruction of, the purport is that besides the destruction of ignorance, it is not possible to prescribe any disciplinary action for the knowledge of Brahman, as Brahman is always of the nature of purity, knowledge and freedom and infinite. It will never become an object for discussion or instruction. Although we do it, we make it. Besides the destruction of ignorance, even that is a figurative term. The destruction of ignorance means, really it means knowing or realizing that there is no ignorance to be destroyed. Yes. If you posit ignorance, how can you destroy it then? If there is the case of the mistaken snake, by putting on the light, the snake disappears. If the snake is really there, it won't go easily. By knowledge, it won't go. Because it is not there. The object is not there. But we somehow see it or saw it. This happens due to illusion. You may or delusion, whatever word you may use it, understand what it means. The emphasis is that we see something which is not really there, and we miss to see what really is there. In that example of rope and snake. Really the rope is there, we miss to see it. For some reason. No snake is there, but we actually saw it and jumped over it, ran out of fear. Similarly here, we miss to see what is really here, what is here, which is the self. And we see something which is not really here, which is the world of objects, including my body and mind. Yes. As in the case of the example, you can see the rope, but here you cannot see God here. The example cannot be stretched here. Cannot be applied. 100% we cannot apply the example. Some point has to be understood from the example. There you can, when you put on the light, you see the rope. Here, in spite of all our knowledge, you will not be able to see God as an object. Again, here also you can see in another sense. How? What is that? You know, you realize, or you discover that whatever you perceive through the five senses is that and that alone. That you can discover. There are different names for that one being. A tree, a sound. A tree is a form, a color, name and form. Sound, smell, touch, taste, thought, word, imagination, knowledge. All these are different words or names for that one being. The experience also is that. Is another word for that same being. Experiencing is a verb, is an action. That also is another word for the same being, who is neither action nor actor. He is neither a subject nor an object. He is neither the subject nor predicate nor object in a sentence. Everything is that. They are all different names for that one being. In that sense, we can hear, we can see, we can smell, we can touch. Not only that we are seeing only that, we are hearing only that, we are smelling only that. And who is this we? Is the we separate from the smelling, the act of smelling, and that which is smelt? No. All of that. It is only, for want of better words, we use these words in the phenomenal sense, with subject, object, predicate, etc. That doesn't mean that they are different. Subject, object and predicate are not different. Consciousness becoming conscious of consciousness. Subject is the same, predicate same, object also same. This is what is happening. We are using different names. What is happening is the subject or the consciousness is becoming conscious of consciousness in seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, tasting, knowing, speaking, talking, walking, etc. Yes. This is the truth which is we will discover if only we have got some interest in this. We are really interested in it and we really want it. You are not getting anything new, just understanding it, that's all. The truth need not come from heaven, it need not come from heaven or fall down from heaven, as they say. God is transcendent, yes, truth, it is true, but He is immanent also. Immanent in every atom of this creation. This is the discovery. This is the knowledge. Yeah. All imaginations regarding samadhi, etc., may have their application in the state of ignorance. All the practices referred to in the scriptures, spiritual practices, including the superconscious state of samadhi, brought about by practice of yoga. All these may have their application in the state of ignorance when one does not realize the ever-illumined nature of his own self. The nature of my own self, your own self, is what we said a few minutes back. And once you discover that, where is the question for this practice of samadhi and practice of sadhana, all these? Well, discovery is that everything is that alone. Everything. Are there so many things? Again here is the difficulty of language, limitation of language. God cannot be put in as a word in any language. You may ask what about the word God? Is it not God? There is no God. It is a word. It's a word indicating that Supreme Being. It is indicating, not defining, not describing. Through that word God, if you follow the instructions given in the scriptures, through that word, you can realize the truth. Some such words have been coined by masters. God, the Absolute, the Father in heaven, Brahman, Atman. All these words have been coined to help us. Still, they are only words with certain dictionary meanings and concepts behind them. Don't hang on to them. Now we go to the next verse, 37. Sarva avilapa vigataha sarva chinda samuthidaha suprasanta sugrid jyodihi sagrid jyodihi samadhir ajalo abhayaha. With the next verse, number 37 in chapter 3. This self about which we are speaking And this Atman is beyond all experiences by words, beyond all acts of the mind. You cannot think of it, you cannot express it through word. Like any other object. It is all peace. P-E-A-C-E. Peace. Not the other peace. It is peace. Ultimate peace. The peace that passeth all understanding. That means it is beyond the intellect and mind. That peace. It is all peace. Again, eternal effulgence. Shining always. Whatever is shining is that and that alone, even now. Whatever is not shining is also that. At night nothing shines. All darkness shines at night. That also is the self. Yes. It is shining as darkness. Sun cannot shine as darkness. Yes, it can shine only as light. But this Son of all suns, Son of knowledge, can shine both as light and also as darkness. Both as knowledge and also as ignorance. It shines. Yes. It is all peace, eternal effulgence, free from activity and fear, and attainable by concentrated understanding of the jiva. By us, we can attain it. By concentrated understanding, not distracted understanding, as in the case of other understandings of other subjects, history, geography, mathematics, physics, chemistry. There we can understand. We are understanding it, many things. This is unlike that. It is attainable by concentrated understanding. There are no better words, of course, here to understand. Yeah. Of the jiva, of the individual person. The individuals we are. We think we are no individuals. This individual can understand this truth. Now is explained the reason for indicating Brahman as without name, etc., as stated above. As I said, God is no name of God. Brahman also is no name of Brahman. It's an indicative word. That's all. The word abhilapa, meaning expression, denotes here the instrument of sound by which all sounds are expressed. That cannot express God. Sound cannot express God. Word cannot express God. Somebody said, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa.
Yes. Only one thing which is not polluted.
Every word is polluted by the saliva of the mouth. Isn't it? Every word. But God is not polluted by that. That means you cannot express God through word. Although the word God is no God. That means the word God is polluted by the mouth. The word Abhilapa, meaning expression through words, denotes here the instrument of sound by which all sounds are expressed, the vak, organ of speech. Brahman is beyond speech. The truth is beyond speech. The instrument of sound is used in the sense of metonymy. That is, it also implies other instruments of sense knowledge. Yes. It is indicative of other sense organs also. The organ of speech includes the organ of sight, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, everything. The purport is that the Atman is beyond all external sense organs. Beyond means beyond the capacity of the sense organs. The sense organs cannot. They have no power. Their power is very, very limited. And therefore they cannot perceive that which we call God. The eyes cannot see God in that sense. And yet we said all that we see is God. Understand this? They are not contradictions. Don't think the scripture forgets the previous statement and is telling another statement contradicting it. No. That is also truth. This is also truth. That no sense organ can perceive God is one truth. The other is 50% of the truth. The other 50% is all that we perceive through the sense organs and the mind is nothing else other than truth. Is that alone. Are you following it? You have no doubt? Yeah? Two contradicting statements made in the same breath. The purport is that the Atman is beyond all external sense organs. Similarly, it is beyond all activities of the mind. The word chinta in the text stands for mind or the internal organ of thought. The scripture says it is verily without prana, without mind. God has no mind or no prana. What is he then? Yes.
Nothing separate from him to have.
Huh?
Nothing separate from him
From
to
him
have.
to have. From him. You make him. Is he a he?
Where can you say so?
What to do? Why don't you say she? Or it? Or I? Better term is I. Yes. But we are afraid of using it. Therefore we use he. Let him be there. Yes. The real life word is I. The nearest word is I. The best word is I. Without the I, there cannot be a he or she or it. Is it not? Who says he, she or it? I. The I, that comes first. The first word. The first creation of God is I. This I, yes. He all uses the same word I. Remember this also. In the scriptures, God also uses the word I. I was there before creation. Before creation, I alone was there. The same I is in you, in me, in a subatomic particle. It is verily without prana, without mind. It is nothing for that mind, for that matter. The world is not in him. Even as the beggar is not in that millionaire who is acting in the drama. The beggar was not in him at all. He never touched him. Yet, was the beggar different from him? Was he not the beggar? Yes, he was, in one sense. In another sense, he is not. It's a contradiction. You can understand the contradiction very well. Yes. The millionaire was a beggar. Yes. He was, and yet he was not a beggar. He can never be a beggar. How can a millionaire become a beggar? Yet in the drama stage, he appeared as a beggar. Similarly here, we are appearing as human beings. Objects are appearing as objects. Things are appearing as things. The heaven and the earth, this world, the intermediary world, the seven worlds are the above, the seven worlds below. All these are like appearances, are mere appearances of that being. Appearance cannot exist without that being. Without that millionaire, there cannot be a beggar there. So the appearance of the beggar is an appearance, whereas the truth is the millionaire. Here also, all this creation is an appearance, whereas the truth is the, what name you give? What name you give? The whole creation is, you have included as an appearance. And which is the truth, for the truth, which is not this creation. What name you will give? You give the name truth, God, Brahman, Atman, and such words. So understand the meaning of the word, these words. Yes.
It's without prana.
Yes.
For
For the, yes, it is verily without prana and without. It is higher than the imperishable supreme. See, here they say the citation from
Akshara, Parata, Para.
Akshara Parada Paraha. Yes. It is higher than the imperishable supreme. The imperishable supreme, when you hear that, you will think that is the highest, isn't it? Supreme, imperishable. Yes. But the scripture says it is higher than that.
What?
There is no word for that. Therefore, I use the word it. You may use the word I. Or you may use the.
But is it equal to imperishable supreme or higher than the imperishable supreme?
It is higher than the imperishable
As
supreme.
much as imperishable supreme is.
He is the beggar. He is the beggar. The millionaire is different from him.
Please elaborate.
Yeah.
What is imperishable supreme? It's same.
It is another name, just like a tree, a building. Yes.
They are all perishable.
They are all,
It's a word.
call it perishable, changeable, anything. Then the other one is not perishable, is imperishable. Perishable, the imperishable also comes under that. Perishable is all this world. Imperishable is the opposite of that, the counterpart of that. And therefore, God is beyond both. Are you following it? Perishable and changing is the whole phenomena. And the opposite of that is the imperishable, non-changing. Now it is a concept in your mind. You have already conceptualized it and made it into a concept, a small concept. What is that concept? Imperishable, supreme. It's a word, two words, with a concept. Of course, it is different from the perishable and the non-supreme, the perishable, changing world, which includes the whole of creation. The perishable creation and the imperishable supreme, they are counterparts. And God is beyond both, different from that. Yes? Yes, what is your doubt?
Language, Swamiji.
Language.
Instead of helping us, it's only impeding us.
Yes, right, you are right. Instead of helping us, it is
Impeding the progress.
Making it difficult.
making it difficult, right. Therefore, when you find this, by study of scriptures, you come to this only when you think of scriptures. Study the scriptures. After getting this, close this book, sit for meditation. Think for yourself. Don't use words. Give up all words.
We have to go beyond language.
Huh?
We have to go beyond language.
Beyond language, beyond thought, beyond word and also thought. First to go beyond word and start thinking. No words are there. At least oral, it is not there. Thought also is a kind of veiled word, isn't it? In unexpressed word is thought, or expressed thought is word. So, from the word you go to thought. And when the mind stops thinking also, you reach that. Does it mean, is it like deep sleep? It would seem like that. No word, no thought, no object. Oh, I am having it every day in deep sleep. Is it that? It indicates, it is also indicating. It is beyond that. Whatever the mind can conceive, it is beyond that. It is the content of the concept. It cannot be conceived. It should not be conceived. So masters tell us when they are speaking or instructing, don't conceptualize my words. They now and then repeat that. Because that is the nature of the mind. The hearer naturally conceptualize what the master says and says sometimes, oh, I understood you, master. Yes. The master will just smile at you and say, and now he knows you have not understood. Therefore it is beyond words and thought, beyond the understanding of the individual intellect. Yet all this is that alone. There is nothing other than that here. Reflect over it, we will continue tomorrow.
Om idam sarvam tasya upavyajanam purnam bhavatu tashyati sarvam omkara eva yajjanyat vikaladitam tadapi omkara eva sarvam vedad brahma ayamatma brahma soyamatma chatusva जागरितस्थानो बहिष्प्रज्ञः सप्ताङ्गएको न विद्यलिङ्गः स्थूलभूत्वैश्वानरः प्रथमपादः सप्तस्थानो अन्तःप्रज्ञः सप्ताङ्गएको न विद्यलिङ्गः वैवित्तमुक्तैजसो भवदीयपादः यत्र सुप्तो न कञ्चन कामं कामयते न कञ्चन स्वप्नं पश्यति तत्सुषुप्तं सुषुप्तस्थाने ईभूतः प्रज्ञानगण एव आनन्दमयो हि आनन्दभुक् चेतोमुखराजतृतीयपादः एष सर्वेश्वरः एष सर्वज्ञः एषोऽन्तर्यामी एष योनिः सर्वस्य प्रभवाप्येव विभूतानां नान्तःप्रज्ञं न बहिःप्रज्ञं न वेदप्रज्ञं न प्रज्ञानगणं न प्रज्ञं न अप्रज्ञम् अदृष्टम् अव्यवहार्यम् अग्राह्यम् अलक्षणम् अचिन्त्यम् अव्यपदेश्यम् एकात्मप्रत्ययसारम् प्रपञ्चोपशमम् शान्तम् शिवम् अद्वैतम् चतुर्थम् मन्यन्ते स आत्मा स विज्ञेयः स्वयमात्मा व्यञ्जनम् ओङ्कारोऽधिमात्रम् आदामात्रा मात्राश्च पादा अकार उकारो मकार इति जागरितस्थानो वैश्वानरः अकार प्रथमा मात्रा आप्तेरादिमत्वाद्वा आप्नोति वै सर्वान् कामान् आदिश्च भवति य एवं वेद स्वप्नस्थानतैजसः उकारो द्वितीया मात्रा उत्कर्षादुभयद्वाद्वा उत्कर्षविधवैज्ञानसन्ततिं समानश्च भवति नास्य ब्रह्मवित्कुले भवति य एवं वेद सुषुप्तस्थानं राज्ञो मकारस्तृतीया मात्रा मितेरवि एव विनोदि हवा इदं सर्वम् अवीति च भवति य एवं वेद अमात्रचतुर्थो अव्यवहार्यः प्रपञ्चोपशमः शिवो अद्वैत एवमोङ्कार आत्मैव संविशति आत्मनात्मानं य एवं वेद
एवं वेद।
ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः सुष्ठुवागुंसस्तनोभिः द्व्यशेन देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्ताक्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति।
Tomorrow there will be no morning.
That's mine.
I know you. Then she comes back, I want her to oh, so sorry.
Ishwar Bhavan, Block 2, where we all stay.
Stand in front of it.
And yes, you can now. Rajendra, do you want it? Would you walk over? This is our wonderful. Say hello to everyone, Rajendra. This is our last day here, so Rajendra's just saying goodbye to everyone. Hari Om, Rajendra, Hari Om. Hari Om. Thank you.